Hello, everyone. It's Karma Palmo coming to you from outer space and my living room. This is another predictions video, and I will be working with my guides to bring in information and answers and content that hopefully will help the most people as possible in this audience. Now, I was called to do this particular video and make this recording. My guides wanted to talk specifically about this time period that we live in. And the word that they used was the German word Zeitgeist. And if you don't know what that means, Zeit means time in German. Geist means spirit in German. It's not literal, it's a metaphor for the feeling of a time period. I'm sure many of you can feel these times we live in. You can sense the energies around you and the mood of the people around you. And you can also see that the climate of our society and our country is really in a very tense place right now. There's a lot going on, and I'm sure that many of you out there can feel the zeitgeist. You are sensitives or empaths or just people out there living your lives, and you're feeling the tension in the air. And you're wondering what's going on, what's going to happen. And some of you may have a real clear idea about what might happen, and that's fine. But for those of us who are uncertain and would like to know more about this time period and what the meaning of this time period is, and what we can do to best maneuver through this time period, that's what this video is all about. I also plan to guide the guides with questions. As they bring up subjects, I can ask them more specific questions. All right, so let's get started. I'm getting centered. I'm calling in my guides to please assist me and help me to bring clear and accurate information. May I be a clear and divine conduit for the light and for the good of all concerned, and according to the free will of all concerned. Thank you, guides. Guides, I would like to ask you specifically about the zeitgeist of this time, the nature or spirit of this era, and what do we need to know right now about what is coming in the next, say, 1, 2, or 3 years. How can we best prepare for these times? And what is this time all about? These are big questions. And if you'd like to start with something specific, and if you'd like to guide me through that, and I can communicate what you're saying to my viewers, I will be here listening. Thank you, guides. All right, so the guides are saying something they said earlier when I was meditating on this subject. The first word I got was tension, and I'm feeling it in my body right now. It's a tension that others may be feeling as well. And of course, we all have tension in our bodies at different times for different reasons, but we're talking about something different here. This is what the cumulative actions of our group, or the people who share this lifetime with us and this planet with us in this time period, that's what we're referring to here. So the guides are saying that there's a lot of tension in Washington specifically at this time, and that we can all be sure that there is going to be a reckoning of sorts. And they're underlining the word sorts. There's an irony going on, they're telling me, and this irony is about how those in power in offices, higher offices in the land, they're saying, are posing themselves, I'm not sure which word they're using, I think it's posing themselves to partake in a specific battle of a kind, and This battle has been in place for some time, and they want us to know that this battle is something that has always been going on as long as humankind has been here on this planet. This is a battle of egos, a battle of opposing forces, and this is largely due to the human condition. This time period that we're in right now, the guides are telling me, is an elevated time energetically, because there is an outpouring of energy not only from the cosmos or heavens, they're saying, but there is also an energy field around our planet herself, or itself, depending on your viewpoint. And there is a collective energy around what every single person is putting out into the energy field as well. This is a collective. We are in a collective, within a collective, within a collective. And if you want to know more about that, you can listen to my channeling videos. So I'm going to ask the guides again about what's going on in Washington. Is there anything else you wanted to say about that? I think some viewers will want to know what's going to be happening in the coming months and what we can expect. And they're saying that we can expect an unraveling of an entire plan that has been in place and is now coming to a head. And this plan was in place before our president came into office. They're saying that this plan came into, they're using the word experience. It came into, it was an experiment. It was an experiment at first, and then the plan kind of sprung to life. And this experiment was about whether a political system could be influenced by others in an attempt to repair actions done by others in another point in time, an earlier point in time in the linear time frame. There is a reckoning. Okay, so they're saying there's going to be a reckoning happening, and they have said that to me before. There's going to be a reckoning. And they've also said that justice will prevail. And when I meditated on this, what I saw was the Watergate scandal, and I was shown that, pictures of that. I can only assume, and then I did clarify with my guides, that this is related to what's going on in Washington right now. I would like you all to know that I'm not a political person, particularly, but I do care about the people. I care about this planet, and I wish we would all get along. I have a very idealistic point of view, and that all said, this is what I'm getting from Spirit. There is a kind of powerful focus group. Okay, it's being called a focus group by the guides. And this focus group orchestrated the events that are unfolding right now in Washington. And what may seem like the doings of the president and, oh my gosh, they're saying the word accomplices. The president and his, let's just say the people surrounding him, his staff of people, or his friends who are influencers, they have orchestrated this, and the president himself hasn't totally been aware of what's going on. And I've seen that for quite a long time. So let me go back into a deeper state. Okay, so the guides are saying that there's going to be a changing of the guard, so to speak, and that this changing of the guard is going to be coming in the next few weeks. This is probable. This is a possible outcome. And this changing of the guard is all due to an orchestration that was happening and was started a long time ago by people who had a grand design in mind. They were, in a way, like master chess players. And there are going to be some people who pay dearly for their involvement in these actions, say the guides. And I'm going to ask them what they mean by pay dearly. All right, basically there's going to be a penance, or they're saying pay their penance. And I'm not exactly sure what that means, but I have an idea what that means. Basically, there's going to be a justice. Actually, no, they're saying it's not justice. It's not about justice. It's not about who's right, who's wrong in this case. It's about how people got involved in something that quickly snowballed out of control, and those involved had their lives wrapped up in this. I think it's the administration. So they had their lives, the people who work for this administration, they have their lives wrapped up in it, and some are personally connected, are relatives of the president, and it was a very sticky situation, and they didn't know how to get out of it because they wanted to support their families and have a career that was successful. So these people kind of got in kind of in a backwards way, and then found themselves kind of stuck in kind of a tarry substance. That's what I'm seeing. Yeah, they're stuck in a dark tarry substance, and the substance is kind of they can't pick their feet up out of it. They're stuck in it. And so my interpretation, I'm going to check in with the guides about my interpretation, but my interpretation is this is about what's happening in Washington, and whether or not this current administration is going to be held accountable for some actions and found guilty of some actions that are going to change the course of events in this country in the near future. Okay, so my guides are saying, yes, this is likely. This is a very confusing, chaotic, and I say chaotic in the sense of the energy that I'm looking at. It's like a hive, and it's like chaos. It's very hard to read. It's hard to describe. It's like a million lines scrambling together, like a big dark scribble. And this chaos is making this very hard to read accurately. But I will say that this situation with our president is precarious, and that he is having a very hard time, and his own beliefs are playing a part in why he's having a hard time. He's digging his feet in. He wants to hold to his principles and accomplish what he told the people that he was going to accomplish. He's between a rock and a hard place here, because his stubbornness may be causing him to not see this situation correctly. And I'm getting those words from the guides. Not seeing this situation as clearly as one would like one to, who is representing the United States. All right, so we can just expect there to be some changes coming. Please keep in mind that these changes, as chaotic as they are right now, all of this will blow over in time, no matter how this shuffles out. And like the Watergate scandal, long time ago, that was such a big deal when President Nixon was in office. That seemed like just an incredible event, and like something that never could happen, and it shook people. And that kind of event is going to happen again, And it's probably going to happen again and again. So when it does happen, you can just realize that it's a passing storm and that our Constitution will prevail in the end, and that there will be a reckoning as far as keeping people honest. My guides are pointing out that that's keeping some people honest. There will never be 100% honesty in politics or in Washington. And they're saying in the political sphere there are no winners. There are only losers in a sense. And what I'm going to ask them what they mean by that. They're saying it's a game that is based on winning and losing and vying for your beliefs, your personal beliefs, and for your platform that you're representing. And this game is full of compromise and is not a happy game for many people who are involved in politics, in the higher positions especially. And it calls for a certain kind of personality. And I would like to say that I think we need to all have compassion for these people who are in these higher positions, who are struggling right now as things change, as they are inevitably about to change. As far as I can see, as far as my guides are showing me, there's going to be a changing of the guard. Yeah, they're saying that again. All right, this event is something that, like they said, has been preordained, not necessarily preordained in a spiritual way, but possibly, but more so in a human, ego-orchestrated way by very intelligent people in possibly the military, possibly another government organization. And there is an agenda being served in this process. It's not exactly as it seems. So that all said, this time that we live in really isn't about this darkness and this deception. And I don't know about you all, but I feel that there is a lot of deception going on. And I mean that on many levels. Now, the good news is that, especially in 2019, I see a change in the climate, the zeitgeist in general. I see a real positive change coming out of what has been going on in Washington. I see people banding together to light things up a bit. And by that, I mean people are waking up to the need that they express themselves and do that in a positive way and take positive action to help humanity and every single thing living on this earth and the earth itself and our spirits as well. Let's not forget our spirits, because that's really the big picture. All this other stuff is a drama, and it's a drama that has been created. And this is the guides talking about the drama. This is a drama that has been created by a lot of people, including me, as I am talking about the drama. And thank you, guides, for reminding me of that. And I certainly know that no psychic is 100% correct all the time. So you can take my predictions with a grain of salt. And guides, could you please give us some guidance about how to handle these wild energies, these chaotic energies, these sometimes scary energies of these changing times? All right, so they're saying that try to remember and collect yourself and remember that things aren't really going as fast as it may seem, and that the more you pay attention to the outside world around you, and this will go for anyone, anywhere across the world, the more you pay attention to that, instead of looking inside yourself and reflecting back inside yourself, the more you'll get lost in this drama. And the more likely it is that you're going to spin out into the drama and create more dramas. And if you think about it, and if you've ever meditated and gotten to a certain point where you realize that you are not your thoughts, you realize that every single thought you've created is a part of drama. It's a creation, and each thought is putting out a certain vibration and a certain message to the universe about who you are and what you want and what you believe in. So I think it's important for us all to just remember there's a lot more going on than this dark time that we're living in, where people are in very bad predicaments. They're saying this is a dark time for certain, and that these dark times are to show us all what we're capable of as a human species. We are capable, they're saying, of terrible, terrible acts of violence and unfairness, and that this needn't be the case. We can rise above these situations and these dramas and release those things that no longer serve us, and follow our hearts and do what we can do to help those who are feeling lost, abandoned, scared, hungry, etc. If we're going to be focusing on a drama, that would be an important one to focus on, because giving is really needed right now. I'd like to ask the guides now for a positive message, please. They're saying that you are going to be just fine, and that you are just fine, and that this is a time for you to set aside your own belief systems for a moment and reach out instead to others, not based on causes or religions or belief systems, but for the sake of our humanity, to raise up or lift those around us. And this time period that we are living in right now, they're saying, is a time period of, so they're saying not only darkness, but of elation. There are going to be some very high points. I'm not sure if they're going to be in United States politics. For some of you, they will be. But more than not, I think this is a time. Let me see what the guides have to say about this. Okay, I'm tuning into the guides again. And the guides would like to assure you all that you are living in the light. The guides are saying that you needn't be too immersed in the dramas of your day and times to the point where you lose sight of the good things in your own life, the things that are working, and the beautiful people who surround you and are there to help you learn and also to lift you. There are people around you who will lift you. You need to look for them. I'm getting that message from the guides. Look for those who lift you and respect you, and give yourself time to look within. Separate from the drama enough to know that you're not caught in the drama. And I'm going to leave you all with that message from the guides. I thank you all for listening, and I thank the guides for giving us this message. If you have any more questions, you can leave them below, and perhaps I'll get to them in a future video. And I really appreciate you visiting this channel. And if you'd like to subscribe, that would be great. If it's your kind of channel, please subscribe. If you like psychic channeling, I have psychic channeling videos and also Reiki videos. Thank you for being here. This is Karma Palmo signing out.